Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Baba Yoba, and I'm very excited, as usual, to be joining you on this very special episode today as we speak on this particular question. Someone sent the question in, and we decided that we are going to treat it. The question read this way: If it is proper to marry, would it not limit the scope of one's spirituality since sex diminishes strength? If it is proper to marry, would it not limit the scope of one's spirituality since sex diminishes strength? I know a lot of our people are joining from different platforms. For those on Telegram, thank you for joining. And for those who are also joining us on YouTube or whatever platform you're joining from, I bid you welcome. Or before we move on today, shall we pour veneration to the ancestors? Ìbà lára ìbà jèrò, ìbà ọ̀rọ̀gún lè là kíbà tiwa ọ̀ṣẹ́ lónìí. Ìbà bírímù àwọ̀ òru léta wà ń bí. Ìbà gànrígànrí àwọ̀ ọ̀sán níbikíbi tí àwọn yòókù bá wà lọ. Àṣebà kíbà wa ọ̀ṣẹ́. Venerations to the ancestors. We ask that your energies, as it was with you when you were actively an Orisha here on this planet, come amongst us, stay with us, empower us, energize us, fight our battle for us, strengthen us, and impact us with the right amount of wisdom to live our life. Ashe. Before we continue today, one decree for those who are pregnant, people who are pregnant currently. We ask that on the day of your delivery, may it be sound, safe. May you not, because you want to give birth to life, lose your own life in the course of it. Kágbóhùn ìyá, kágbóhùn ọmọ, kágbóhùn bàbá pẹ̀lú. May you be strengthened. And if you are not currently pregnant, you can stand in for your family members. So we move on to today's teaching. The question, Aboyibo ṣíṣe fún gbogbo ẹni tí bá ń kí babaláwo. Thank you. It's well appreciated that we don't allow, familiarity to diminish our ancestral way of running things so that we don't give up on our identities. So people know our uniqueness also. It is when we stick to it that our children are able to know what to do when they come to replace us. And so from generation to another generation, they know what to do and what to say. And for those who do not understand what Aboruboye means, it means that may every sacrifice, every decree that we are making be successful. So we're talking about sex, marriage, spirituality. And the question again, read thus. For those who are on YouTube is scrolling below. If it is proper to marry, would it not limit the scope of one's spirituality since sex diminishes strength? Now I'm going to start this way. Sex is overrated. It is highly overrated. Sex does not bring happiness. If anything, sex take away your happiness. Please listen to me with a plain mind and let's teach each other. If anything, sex take away your happiness. It takes away your freedom. And instead of replenishing your heart with joy or any feeling of Highness, sex replaces your life, your art with sorrow. So look at sex this way. I am not telling you not to have sex. You must have sex, as much quality sex as you can, because the body was made for sex. But sex in itself should not have been a thing which we built industry, multi-billion-dollar industry around. And if you know what sex is doing to you each time you have it, there is possibility that you will choose a celibate life. And if you are not going to choose a celibate life, you release your energy and create a vacuum in yourself with a minimal effort. Somebody's asking if it's an audio only. Yeah, it is. So you don't get distracted from the place of work. Everyone, if you are cooking, you can keep cooking. If you are having your bath, you can go on with it. And if what we are talking about today is what you are doing, if you are having sexual intercourse, you can go on with it. It should energize you if you are strong enough to go on with it. Sometimes you will do audio broadcast also. I realized that I distract a lot of people, especially the women folks, sometimes. If they are not commenting about my nails, they are commenting about my finger. If they are not commenting about my cheeks, they are commenting about this. And personally, I take a review and I realize I'm distracting a lot of people. Instead of them to listen to what I have to say, they are focused on something else. I appreciate all those comments and those reviews, but we should know when to. So, sex is like a fire. To a fly, a fire is another flower. To a fly, if a fire is another flower, it is attractive, it is glowing, it will increase your libido. It gives the fly every sense of motivation. Come to me, come to me, come. I love you. Come to me. Be in my arms. Stay with me. And the moment the fly touches the fire, it realizes that instead of happiness, instead of joy, instead of increase, if the fly doesn't get burnt out totally by the fire, it survives with sadness, sorrow. Sex is like that for each and every one of us. Either you're an addict or you manage to control your libido. You must know that beyond the purpose of procreation, the subject of companionship goes way beyond sexual intercourse. As a matter of fact, the best of intercourse happens in the mind, not with your reproductive organs. You must know that that thing called reproductive organ is not only meant for reproduction alone. Sometimes it is meant to ease you of pain. It is an outlet. So when your life is centered around what should give you ease, if your life is maneuvered around making use of what gives you ease to bring about some certain level of comfort to you in terms of accumulation via sexual intercourse, you realize that the fire that is saying, come, 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 is calling you to say you are roasted already. This is no way telling you not to have sex. Like I said, if you are in the midst of sexual intercourse, if you are strong enough, keep at it. So the best set of intercourse happens with the mind. You realize that somehow the most valuable people in your life are not even people that you are seeing their nakedness. They are people who are able to appeal to your energy through the instrument of their mind with yours. So if intercourse is defined as intercourse itself, then it should be an intertwining of two energies together, not using you to satisfy me or me using myself to satisfy you. Because when we deassociate sex from spirituality, we realize that all that we get there is emptiness. After you reach orgasm and I climax, ask yourself, the little smile we have, the good sleep you have, what follows? Emptiness. You know why I say that? Because you want more. And you realize that when you want more of a thing, gradually you become an addict. There is nothing you become addicted to that doesn't mess your life up at the end of the day. Sex have the same effect like a cocaine. And until we know how to make proper use of sex, we will always abuse it like we abuse every other substance or every other substance, in the world. And when you begin to abuse a substance, what happens is that life begins to leave you gradually. This sex and orgasm that you reach should not in any way be a determinant factor for your happiness. It is just a tickling of nerves, nerves. When your nerves is tickled together. So that's what orgasm is. A male penis head have thousands of neurons. So when you massage it, either he's having active sex or passive sex, it will reach the same orgasm and will still ejaculate. The same way with a female clitoris. So sex is a release of some kind of compartmentalized energy from you into nothing else. Once in a while, you procreate after your own order using sex. But most of the time, most of the sex you have in your life is just an emptiness of yourself. And so because you are constantly releasing, letting go of what you are, puffing out yourself, smoking out yourself, you need more. You need more. And then you become an addict. Now, the moment the tickling of a nervous system, the moment the tickling of nerves becomes your definition for happiness, the moment the tickling of nerves becomes your definition of companionship, the moment the tickling of nerves begin to affect your thought pattern and your decision making, you are a failure and you are totally empty. We are getting somewhere. Now, some even go depraved to the point of allowing the voice of a man, his lips, eyeballs, and other physique to determine their own happiness because they feel if this figure of a person make love to me, then it's going to be different. And I will have a different type of happiness and joy within me. We live in a world where the distribution of fat in a woman is the definition of beauty. The distribution of fat in a woman is the definition of beauty. So this womanized world is exhausting for someone like me, because the fact that some people are running like a dog that has been cursed on the street and on the treadmill to burn. Some are investing so much money to acquire it, either cosmetic products like creams and all, or they even go to the point of putting themselves under the knife. Now you look at this, all of these things. I'm not saying some people are not doing it for their self-esteem and for their well-being, but I'm saying most of the time, the reason why someone will go to the point of adjusting their physical appearance, tampering with their physical configuration, is still around the topic of sex. How sexy you are should not be determined by the way you look. It should be determined by the value you carry in your mind and how much you are willing to give to humanity. And that's where spirituality comes in place. Service to one another. A service of one element to another element of nature is spirituality. Now, the moment your purpose of doing a thing is centered around how sexy you think I am, how much you can bed me, the kind of style you could do with me, then you are losing yourself out of spirituality. So we've seen so many marriages that was contracted based on the proportion of fat a woman has. We have seen several relationships started solely because of fat, ordinary fat. We have seen women of valor, great women of virtue, become a zombie just because of height. A man's height. He has 6 packs. He's got chest. He's got a deep voice, a low velvety voice, and that's all. And because our prerequisite for choosing partners is solely dependent on things that wear away, ordinary fat and muscles. Marriage, relationship become tainted, and the spiritual intention of marriages becomes null and void. Then you realize that you have a baggage in your life that you have to carry all the time. Not because you really dig this person after 2 years or a year of marriage, but because, well, you have signed paper. Even the Westerners, they knew that the stuff is scam. So they ensure that you go to registry and sign yourself up. And they put consequences. So a lot of you are still in that marriage today, not because you are digging the person you are in marriage with, but because you are too scared to lose your properties, too scared to start over, too scared to do this and that. A world where kindness is no more a charm, where humility is no more a virtue. Humility is now replaced with money. Kindness is replaced with power. You realize that all we have is not even marriage, it's an arrangement. An arrangement of you give birth to children for me and I take care of you for a moment and we go a separate way, and that's all. So you must first of all come from the term that if sex is what determines your relationship with a person, your relationship with that person is far away from being spiritual. Now, spirituality in this essence is not the spirituality we practice here. You could be tied together in bondage. True spirituality is the ability of two people to come together and be useful to one another. So when you go back to the chapter of sex, you realize that with sex comes responsibility of finance. With sex comes responsibility of procreation. If you give birth to children, you have to take care of them for the rest of your life. Even if you are old, whatever happened to you, you have to take care of children. With sex comes the consideration and the risk of contracting one disease or the other. Sex literally does not bring happiness to you. It takes happiness from you. With sex comes with these emotional baggages that you have to carry around all the rest of your life. Because you get involved with the person sexually and you realize that you become attached to them some way, one way or the other. I'm not talking about the depraved world we live in right now, where it is okay for a woman to sleep with 7 men on the same street and still feel cool with it. It's okay for a man to sleep with 100 women, and still feel cool with it. We're talking about a world of sanity where you will know that a part of you has gone into that person. Something in you has been inside that person, and you have taken something from that person in you. Sex is an exchange of DNA. Either you like it or not. It is an exchange of DNA. We deposit one DNA into one another. So when you truly look at all of us, we are family. If you truly look at all of us, you will find a part of my DNA in this one. It all depends on the one whose DNA becomes predominant. When you go to do DNA testing, it's only the man whose DNA is predominant, not because other men's DNA are not your DNA too. So if that is like that, if a data comes from me to you, how much more the other spiritual data? If we can exchange physical data, what about other spiritual data? So when I dump myself in you as a woman, and you open up for another man to dump himself in you, don't forget that while I'm dumping me into you, I'm taking you into me too. So the men you have slept with, their DNA is in you. Your fluid transmit them to me. My fluid transmit myself to you. And the next man you sleep with, you carry the DNA and over the far ọ̀rọ̀ wa dọ̀rọ̀ pé ká lọ bùkà kí wọ́n á béèrè pé ṣé ewédú lẹ fi àbẹ́ ẹ̀fọ́ ríro ìwọ gbọ́ngbọ́n bí ẹ̀kọ́ máa pè lẹ́fọ́ ríro wọ́n ti rò ẹ́ bàjẹ́ àrò fẹ́ kú ẹ̀fọ́ àbí kọ́ ya gbóná tiẹ̀ àbí kọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ wà màlà gidi àbí sẹ́mọ̀. àbọ̀ òṣìṣẹ́ rẹ̀ fún gbogbo ẹni tí báyìí kí bàbá. So you realize that a lot of us are mixed up. See, now let me tell you something. Something usually happens in marriages. Some marriages just don't settle. But there's love in that marriage. So I'm going to give you a little breakdown of what is happening. You remember we are talking about sex, marriage, and spirituality. Now you are with your wife last night. Nothing happened. You guys are okay. But you wake up the following morning and you are just angry at this woman. She's also agreeing with you. You guys could not find what is wrong. So they told you psychologically that it is irreconcilable differences. No, told them, oh, only were reconciled. Why? Because not two of you alone are in that marriage. Now, hear me. There are DNAs in you that is not of that woman alone. There are DNAs in her that does not belong to you alone. Now, remember that people who are putting this DNA in them and in you are, first of all, energies or spirits. Remember, in African spirituality, we don't have a soul. We only have body that is energized by spirit. People putting this DNA in one another, all of you become a piggy bank of sperm, of fluid, of vagina, this and that. They are energies, first of all. And remember our law, first law of African spirituality. Energies cannot be created. Energies cannot be destroyed. So if you carry this person's energy, you are a woman. You have 45 men's energy in you. You are a man. You have like 98 energy, 98 energy of a woman in you. You are now expecting yourself to think straight. How can you think straight? You want to, how can you even move forward? How can you not be unsettled? How can you not be depressed? How can you not get confused? How can you meditate without noise coming to your head? You are carrying energies around. Sorry, if you can hear me, let me know. Can you hear me? Can everybody hear? All right, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So you carry the energies around. What you want to have an absolutely straightforward life. Sorry, I'm being distracted by people on YouTube. They claim me they can't hear me on YouTube. All right. All right. So the YouTube people are saying they can't hear me. I guess I'm just going to go ahead and keep talking until the connection gets better. The energies in you that you carry around. I'm also in the energy in them that they carry around. But every single one of you want to have the perfect marriage. Everyone wants to have a good marriage. So when we talk about the spiritual arithmetic, people think that we do not know what we're saying. Sorry, YouTube people. I don't know what is going on. I don't know what I can do with YouTube. I guess the network just dropped. So I'll do something about it. Stay with me, people. Please stay with me. It breaks my heart to always have to deal with network issue every time because these recordings are recordings that I'm doing for the purpose of future generation. So let's hold on and restart the router, please. All right. So if you can hear me now on YouTube, let me know if you can still hear me. I'm talking about YouTube. YouTube, please, I need feedback. All right, so I have one person who said they can hear me. Now, so we go on. They call it irreconcilable differences. Can you still hear me now? Or you can't? From YouTube, please. All right, so I guess I'm just going to focus on people on Telegram for now. Thank you. So we talk about the irreconcilable differences, and then apologies for the people of the future generation. Is the world we live in now. Yet we must get the message out there. Because when the DNA is being deposited, it is being deposited by people. Humans like yourself, who are energies that cannot be destroyed and cannot be created. Thank you, guys. And I've never seen such a marriage that is so rosy and awesome when more than two persons are in it. Have you seen such a marriage before? Where everything is rosy and awesome and there are more than two people in it. Sometimes marriages break up because of the presence of children. That is how to tell you how the stuff is so sacred for two people. But here you are just two. Physically, or when we check you critically and scan everything, the energies around you. Sometimes two people are physically in the marriage, and the man brought 25 people energy to it. The woman brought 7 people's energy to it. That's like 32 people. Plus the physical people, that's like 34 people. Emitting energy at the same time. Remember, I told you that you are omnipresent. Or wherever you can think you are there. And wherever your energy is deposited, you stay. So you see the reason why some of you cannot just figure it out, but the marriage is not just working out. Now the sexual aspect of it. See the sadness it's bringing. What should bring joy to you? What you have used as a factor, a variable for happiness. See what it's doing. Sex. Am I saying don't have sex? I'm not saying so. Remember I said if you are in the midst of it, teramo. But what about the chapter of marriage itself? I'm going to say categorically today that thing called marriage is overrated. I said that categorically, but I'm going to say this carefully. People shouldn't be married. That's carefully. Remember, all I'm saying is from my own opinion. I did not quote any Odrifa for you. I said marriage is overrated. Categorically, I'm saying that. Carefully, I'm saying people shouldn't be married. Now, let's go back to what marriage means. See, if you are married already, stay with your partner. Don't divorce because of what I'm saying. And if you are not married, don't, because of what I'm saying, say you won't be married. But I'm telling you, every single human being you have met in this life, who tells you that marriage is beautiful? Who tells you that we can't wait to come and eat rice? Who pushes you to the point of saying, yes, I do? They don't love you. They are the greatest liar in your life. Those people, they just want you to come and see what they are seeing there. And I told someone, I said, I don't know who instituted the constitution, the institution of marriage. I don't know who started that stuff. You will never hear a divorce from the animal kingdom, from the plant kingdom. We are all elements. Remember, today, we don't consider ourselves bigger than them. I was watching a video the other time. 2 types of water. They met. They refused to mix up, but they coexisted together. It's a beautiful sight. Please listen to me. 2 types of water. They are all waters. 2 types of water. They refused to. They coexisted. They refused to match together. They refused. They say over their dead body will they mix. Let everybody just bear their father's name. Because when you begin to look at the burden of allowing somebody usurp your dream, your vision, if you look at the burden and the work you have to put in to coexist with another person or to live under the shadow of another person, because at the end of the day, marriage will make you succumb to something. Somebody will have to sacrifice for something. Are you going to be like that for the rest of your life? Would you be truly happy? So those water refuse to marry. They just are coexisting. Yet they flow. And they are beautiful to behold. Now, I'm not saying this because of my marital status or something. I'm just saying that if you are not willing to give up the very life you cherish so much, don't enter the institution of marriage. Not to mention allowing sexual intercourse be the determinant of getting married. So the moment you meet a person and say marriage is beautiful, just tell them you understand what they do. Animals, they don't marry. Nobody conduct their wedding for them. So there's no reason for divorce. The female one could roam. The male one could roam. Yet there is continuity amongst their kingdom. All species continue to exist, except if nature terminates them or you, human being, put them on the list of endangered species. They procreate after their order. No fight, nothing. They just move on. The marriage itself is overrated. And I strongly believe that combining 2 people of different background together and telling them to figure it out is the greatest wickedness in this world. Totally strange people, totally different people, different background and all of those things. And at the end of the day, they will tell you that he's the head of your house. You are a woman now. You should calm down. A woman has the right to achieve all her dreams, become all she wants to be, as well as a man. or marriage brings upon you the necessity to compromise. Compromise standard, compromise everything. You compromise your dream, you compromise everything. And the moment children set in, forget about living. You have to focus on them. Most of the ancestors who did spectacular thing in our world, they never got married, they never had children, because it is too cumbersome for them to be able to do monumental stuff. So the question now lies between who will compromise? Will the man do the compromise, or it has to be the women? Considering what women can offer our world, their compromises is making our species become endangered species. Because the men are not really getting it right. So the person who asked the question was asking, marriage will facilitate sex, or sex can diminish spirituality? And I want to put it back to this person today, that sex with the right person will increase your spirituality. Even though it takes something from you, it replaces it back immediately. Much more than it took from you. However, when you are with the right person, see that all you think about is sex. Your definition of companionship, is it sexual intercourse? Your definition of intercourse, is it sexual? Or there are some other activities that the universe has given to us to do? What about meditating together? What about going in isolation together? What about serving humanity together? What about creating a cause and fighting for people's right together? What about those fantastic things? They are also kind of intercourse. So when a man and a woman come together in the both, and they decided to plug themselves one to another, what is happening at that moment is that two energies momentarily want to become one. The effectiveness of two energies becoming one is more than one energy trying to do it alone. So when these two energies become one energy, do you both use it to create the kind of atmosphere that you want to experience, the kind of reality you want to experience? And that will take us to the sacredness of sex. Some people literally just jump off Pornhub to try the style on their spouse. Some people literally just put calendar up and say, okay, in the last 2 weeks, we have not had sex. Because of that, let me mark register. No, sex is fellowship. And that's why it can take from you as much as it can give to you. It is fellowship. I once mentioned that until you create a separate sacred room filled with petals of flower, with good fragrance, candles everywhere, awesome bedding, for your sexual intercourse, you will never be able to discover how beautiful sex is and how spiritual it is, and how much you can get in the place of sex. The ladies are to focused on, will I reach orgasm before him? The guys are too focused on keeping that macho record. When what you should be focusing on is, I submit my energy to you, you submit your energy to me, and the submission of both energy, what can we drive home with it? What are the words we say during that time? What are the intentions in our heart? Some men have slept with so many women that when they are with BC, they will be calling Jane. Some women have gone so deeper on the IRM to the point that nobody can satisfy them except the first man they first met. So they will forever compare every man that comes to their life with the first encounter of sexual intercourse they had. So we really and really do not enjoy sexual intercourse. And what we'll be having is what I would call we were just riding each other all this while. We are not close to intercourse. If you know the meaning of the word intercourse, it goes beyond the physical penetration and all. And even if physical penetration has to be involved, then you know that, oh, you are feeling the whole of you with the whole of this person. When you have sexual intercourse once, it's going to be very hard for you to cheat on the person you had intercourse with. Nobody can just tickle your fancy except that one, because it's going to be a new realm. Now, this new realm is not going to be the realm of tickling of your nerves. In the ancient Chinese world, when prostate cancer started, and they were looking for ways to heal, what they did was, the one with prostate cancer will go to the doctor, and the doctor will dip his fingers into the anus of this person, this man suffering from prostate cancer, and begin to maintain contact with his prostate gland. Because the prostate gland now is what simulates the ejaculation enjoyment when the man is about to puke. That is the reason why the medical doctor of these days say, when you are at the age of 40 or somehow close to 40, you should have sex regularly so as to massage your prostate gland so it doesn't get expanded. The more it gets expanded, contracts, and the more healthy it becomes, the flow of blood. So they do that to manually massage that place. And in the process of massaging that place, sometimes the men don't even have erection, but they still ejaculate. There's a difference between prostate gland, the prostate fluid, and semen, the sperm, sorry. So if ejaculation is your definition for love, companionship, then you need to think again. It used to be a medical procedure for healing people of a very crazy disease like prostate cancer. If the fondling, if the massaging, not massaging, if the fondling and the caressing of the clitoris has always been your definition for love and your prerequisite for marriage as a woman, you have failed, because that you can do by yourself. Not to mention the new inventions some weapons of mass destruction, some weapons of nerve destruction that they have created for you now. They call it dildo, dredging machine, and all that you can use on yourself. So if orgasm is the definition of love, if orgasm is a prerequisite for marriage, then it's a waste of time for you getting involved with a person. You can do it yourself. However, when we take it down to spirituality, you realize that spirituality is something entirely different. Sex could bring about spiritual attachment and entanglement. Marriage could bring about spiritual, entanglement, because you can't even practice spirituality if you don't have a good marriage. For those who are married, anything you don't shackle. You know, when you have rest of mind physically, that you'll be thinking of your spiritual well-being. But spirituality on its own can be practiced without the presence of these two. Remember that sex can damage your spirituality. Sex can also enhance your spirituality if you are doing it with the right person. When your energy beams with their energy. Yet we have seen so many people who their life was not damaged by external invasion, but because of what they like. That very man you are having sexual intercourse with, that one that tickle your fancy, that very man that is giving you that 7-star, 7-cloud, 9-cloud superstore kind of experience, that barbing saloon experience, that man does not match with your energy, but you love him because of the muscle, the strand of muscle between his legs, and you deactivate your brain. And so because you are mating with a man that is not compatible with your energy, your spirituality gets damaged. And instead of sex to bring happiness to you, it brings sadness to you. It takes from you instead of giving to you. The same thing vice versa. That's why we say don't start relationship with sexual intercourse. Have a long talk, have conversation, know who you are. So sex don't distort. The moment you commence a relationship with sexual intercourse, possibility that you'll be duller than a 1-year-old child is possible, especially for women. Men can get over their sexual fantasy. The moment they have it once, they are that kind of element. They can move on. But women, especially when you give a woman a good sexual intercourse or experience, she's tucked on you. All you'll be hearing, but you promised me. When did I promise you? She was having the conversation in her head. It all happened in her head. And for women, this is why I respect women. Either it happens verbally or it happens in her head, the conversation old. Either she's thinking of it on her own or you thought about it with her. Conversation is conversation. You cannot run. So for men amongst us here, the moment you make love to a woman, and after that she asks you, so what are we now? You are in trouble. You have satisfied this person beyond their imagination. That what are we now in our mind? While you are doing it, you people have married, you have born 3 children, you have traveled to Las Vegas, you have traveled the world around, you are already growing all together in our mind. That what are we? You are gone. So you want to be careful. Sex is such a dangerous weapon. It can mess you up without notice. Very dangerous weapon. We are not going into the aspect of offloading yourself, downloading yourself in people. whatever you carry. We have not even touched the area where some people, using the spirituality, the knowledge of nature, will lace their reproductive organ or whatever organ with some kind of charm and use it to speak with someone else, such that the goodness of that person is transferred to them, the uselessness of them transferred to that person. It exists. You can doubt it. You can say, no, it's a lie. But don't worry. Any balokon, any more, any con lomo. So you must be careful. Sex is not a scores. It's not a trophy. Sex is not something you use to now count scores and say, you have done this, you have done. It's not a conquering element. It's not a tool to conquer people or to subject them to obedience or to make them shy of themselves or ashamed of them. Sex is no. If you know, when people say, I have heard for women, Ori buruku lori obìnrin o, Ori buruku gidi. It's an unfortunate star for you to be loved by women, or for all men to love you. That means something is wrong. Let me tell you something. Most of you that get unnecessary attention from opposite sex, most of you make the wrong step. You take the wrong choice. You pick the wrong person all of the time, especially those who are considered pretty and beautiful. Most of your marriages, most of your relationship, it always ends in tears, because people come to you because of what they see, not what they can offer. The prettiest are the most miserable when it comes to relationship. Those prettiest, those highly defined prettiest. So I try my best to run away from people. When I get too much attention from people, I just run away. How can you even escape it? You are having 14 men talking to you about love every single day. They are not the one that will come tomorrow. Another set are coming tomorrow. One way or the other, you will fall for one. Possibility that you will fall for the bad one. There is. Possibility that all of them know each other and they decided to come to you by conquer by pressure. There's such a scheme with men. They call it conquer by pressure. Let all of us go together. If you no agree for this one, you agree for this one. But don't you ever forget that their aim is one and the same. The same mission from different people. Somebody is asking, why can't people celebrate? You can talk to me about celibacy before I ever tasted sexual intercourse. It is no more in this life. Celibacy may I not be celibate again? Because it's a good experience. Just that I need to have it with the right set of people, the right kind of person. Pardon that. And then there are some spiritual endeavors or voyage you want to take also that will require you to be celibate so that you can withstand all your energy. This is the reason why most times people in my line of work, you can't have sex all the time, even if you feel like it. You have job to do. It requires you to contain all your energy at a point in time. So you stay. So celibacy should be periodical. Or if it is your choice to be celibate, don't forget that we are not saying sex is totally bad. We are saying wrong sex can mess your life up. So the spirituality aspect of it is there. In African spirituality, for example, there are some things we will do and we say, don't go close to your wife. There are some things you will do and we say, make sure you are close to your wife. Not because we want to use your wife for you, but because at that time, the energy that is created during sexual intercourse will enhance what you are trying to achieve. There are things you will do, I will say, don't get close to your wife when she's on her period. And there are things you do and say, get close to her when you are free to get close to her when she's on her period. That is to show you the importance of sex, that it is useful and it can also be dangerous. So celibacy should be at will. Should be at will. And for those who want to be celibate, not because they are impotent, they should also rule out, what's it called? Is it masturbation? So we can know you are truly celibate. You can't be masturbating and be telling us you are celibate. You are still releasing the same energy. Remember that sex is about releasing of energy. Releasing of energy. But when you have sex with the right set of person, then while you release your energy and they release their energy, it's an exchange of energy. What kind of energy are you bringing in while you are releasing your own? So I once read in a certain sect, they said, he who walk with the wise will be wise, but the companion of fools shall be destroyed. You think it's about let's go to a mall together, or let's go do grocery together, or we are friends together. No, we talk about sexual intercourse. The one who walk with the wise will be wise. The companion of fools shall be destroyed. So when you make that sexual intercourse happen, the intercourse part of it on the line, if it happens between you and a person who is wise, you exchange wisdom with them. Take wisdom. If you exchange it, if you have intercourse with a foolish person, destruction looms. So one need to come to that point where knowing your self-worth and evaluating your own value is what determines your self-control. So I was talking to a friend earlier today. You don't have self-control without knowing your self-worth. If there is no self-value, there is no self-control. It is the value of yourself and how much worth you are to yourself that determines the extent of control you put on yourself. Have you ever noticed? Have you ever noticed that you don't mind dying when you are poor? You know, poor people don't mind suicide. They don't mind all of us to get destroyed and the war should start again. But the moment they start having 3 square meals a day, a cloth on their back, roof over their head, or to maybe to move here and there, or even build their own house, they don't want to die again. It is because value has been added to that life. And people who have value in their life don't want to get quenched and squashed all the time, or just anyhow. That's why you can't afford to be dragging matter with a poor person. You can't afford to be saying you want to offer fatan pẹ̀lú ẹni tó ẹ pé tálíkà. Ó bá tiẹ̀ jẹ́ ni. Now, poor people now not in terms of money. I'm saying those who are poor mentally, their mindsets are poor, they are spiritually poor. They don't mind everything to be destroyed because they have nothing to lose themselves. They have not worked for value. They have not invested value. They have no investment whatsoever. They don't mind for all of us to be the same. But those who have value, they begin to put control on themselves. So it is rare for you to see a man who is driving Range Rover, latest one, to be dragging the road with a bus driver when he's not mad. He knows the value of what he's driving. So he will put enough the necessary control in place. He will just go. You have the way. Go. And thought that way so you won't see somebody who have a place to go that is important to him. And we come down from the car and be dragging with a bus conductor who is loud. He knows that if this guy give me one blow or puncture me with one thing, I'm dead. And to security egbe. Oh, le lo ma batala ka ma ja o. tó bá ti rí change ajá tó ti yókò ń bè tí ò ń yó ṣeré o ó má yẹ kó lọ fi egungun bà ẹlẹ́ran jẹ́ o. The same thing comes with choosing a life partner and relationship. You cannot have self-control until you have first gotten value and you know your self-worth. And it is your self-value and self-worth that begin to determine the clothes you wear, where you go, those you mingle with, the food you eat, because you also want to live long, places you go, what you say. Value and worth determine self-control. So if you are a woman, I don't know, and you are falling in love with a man who does not know his self-value, especially from the spiritual angle, what is worth, what is capable of, and you say he is loving you, he loves you unconditionally, he will love you unconditionally and kill you without control one day. Unconditional love from a man who doesn't have self-worth or self-value will lead to death without control. Because a person who have drafted a self-value and worth for himself first must know what love means by showing it to himself or herself. It is the way they treat themselves. It is the way they carry themselves. It is the way they relate to people they don't even have anything to get from. It is the way they respect those they will not lay in bed with that determines how they will go extra mile for you. So, you better be careful. When these men come around, when these women come around, the place of Ifa and African spirituality is 25% out of the 100 when it comes to decision making and getting your happiness. It is just that the 25% should be the foundation of the rest 75. So you don't go regretting and say, why me, why me, why me, why me? So somebody, oníyanjú ò ní padà bá tiẹ̀ jẹ́ torí epo lìwọ́rù. You can't expect self-control from a man who does not have a self-value. You can't expect self-control from a woman who does not have self-worth. What is their self-worth? What is their value? And value is not determined by CV. It's not determined by their bio on the internet. It is determined by how they are actively pouring into the society and the community of their residents. Sometimes when people open their mouth to talk, you know the value they carry. You don't need to go to Ifa to know. Don't damage yourself and be looking for Ifa to correct it. It is a conscious action you have taken to kill yourself. Do not look up to the sky and call for the energies of your ancestors to come and rescue you when you have decided to crucify yourself with ignorance. So yes, he could know how to sex you. Yes. He could be serious about marriage. She could be serious about marriage. But the sex and the marriage, how will they affect your spirituality? Because your spirituality is your happiness. That's where you find happiness. It is in your spiritual state you have happiness. What you call happiness and joy physically that makes you smile is a transmission of your state of spirituality. When you meet with the wrong person, they transmit themselves into what you are. When you mate with the right person, they transmit yourself into what you are. So those three things, they intertwine. The sex, the relationship or marriage, and then the spirituality. All of these are elementary education we should give to our children while they are growing up. A man who comes to you and say he dreamt that he was trying to open his door and he realized that he forgot his key somewhere, and then while he was trying to look for it, you brought the key to him. He's a very useless and careless man. If you, because of that dream, say yes to him, you are gone. Your name should be changed to gone are those days. A man who tells you that he was paddling a canoe and he was about to capsize, he realized he didn't carry his life jacket. You now came from somewhere under the water. You now offered him life jacket and all that. He will still call you Mami Water Spiritual, but before then, know that he's a very useless man. He doesn't have a value for his own life. If you, because of that, allow him to, you are one of the gone at those days. It will end in premium tears. Your premium tears can be ordered by Amazon Prime. Just order your own there. It's a matter of physical understanding and spiritual amalgamation. You won't marry me? No problem. I like you physically, but it's okay. We have to go to Ifa, or let us ask the universe. Let us ask. Don't commit yourself emotionally before checking things out. Because sometimes, or most of the time, the moment emotion is in place, no matter what anybody says, it is the voice of the emotion you'll be hearing. And at the end of the day, premium tears. That's why I say, do not trust in the feeling of love. Do not trust in the feeling of love. It is like the wave of the sea. It goes up one moment, it comes down one moment. And if it comes so intensified, it is leading to death. Do not trust in the feeling of love. Marriage should be about decision, not about your feelings. Marriage should be about decision. You decide to get involved. You have decided, okay, no matter what comes my way, I will stay with you. So the marriage is about looking at this beautiful lady during the day, and then she's sleeping. She's snoring and also fasting at the same time. Looking at a woman who looks so cute. One woman, and the moment she's approaching 12 a.m. in the midnight, her lips is becoming double. Ojo waran kò ń gbà bí ẹja kóté. Lẹ́nu wọn bulati bí ìsàlẹ̀ Èkó. Sorry for those who don't understand you. It's about saying, okay, when you wake up in the morning, this person with all this, their mouth odor, they still want to have a morning kiss. Now realize that those who have mouth odor, they are the ones that love kissing the most. People that have mouth odor, when you ask them, what do you like most? They will say they like kissing. Those higher killer set of people. Thank the universe for coronavirus. At least you know you are feeling the intensity of your own mouth odor since you are wearing face mask now. Let all the bacteria and their smell kill you first, so you will know what we are facing. Are you with me? It's about saying I will get high on the bacteria in your mouth forever for the rest of my life. It's about looking at this cute looking man with so much 3-piece suit and all that. And when he comes home, he throws his bag in the north, throws his shoe in the west, throws his boxer in the south, throws everything everywhere. And then you ask him, Boy, go shower before you sleep and say, don't inconvenience me. Marriage is about that. The real them will be coming to you layer by layer. Till you die, you will not know them. So don't deceive yourself. That's why I say marriage is overrated. Marriage is overrated. And the fact that when you met each other today, it gave you great orgasm does not mean you will always be in the mood for that. Sometimes diet will change. Sometimes the guy is chasing moolah. All his head is about money, not about your beautiful body or your holy ground. What's on his head is not about puncturing. He's absolutely far away from having enough hammer and nail to puncture you. Far away. Sometimes men lose their libido also. For months, sometimes, they are not in the mood at all. Would you start thinking that, okay, he has been cheating on you at that time? Would that be the end of the marriage? Sometimes women they are not in the mood too. Especially if you are the guy that is ignorant about their menstrual cycle, these people go through pain having menstrual cycle. These people go through pain again having ovulation. They go through pain virtually for everything. It messes their head up. During pregnancy, she want to eat Pringles that have onion and caramel chocolate with periwinkle that is being sold in a particular place that is so far away from you, 2 hours drive. She wants what she wants. Will you be able to give her? Else you will not sleep that day. It's a lot of work. So you got to be ready. What we are saying in a nutshell is that do not allow the feeling of sex. The feeling of sex, the emotion of sex, will mess you up if you decide based on it. So I was saying, when people call you for marriage anniversary, or is it marriage anniversary or wedding anniversary? See, forget about their smile and makeup and the cake. Oh, forget about it. You know what they are celebrating? We should have divorced. We ought to have divorced. We are almost divorced. We are divorcing. We will still divorce. Divorce is sure. We might divorce. Well, I don't know, but then, even though we are happy, but divorce. That's what they are celebrating. 365 days of madness with two people who are strangers who are just coping with each other. When you count the total amount of days that couples are happy in a year, it might not be up to 3 months consecutively. All the rest argument. All the rest, you didn't do this way, you didn't do that way. You do. A woman want to turn you to a baby. The man want to be the man of the house. Sometimes everybody will now be saying, okay, these are my children. I'm here for my children. The man will say, my children. The woman will say, my children. Is it the children that brought you together before? So you need to wake up and begin to look at those people who say marriage is beautiful every single time. Let them tell you the truth. We are not saying don't marry, but we are saying when you decide to marry based on sex, your spirituality will be messy. It will be messy. So we speak extensively today about that aspect. And if you ask me one single Odwifa that mandated it for mankind to get married, I can't find. Just like I cannot find one single Odwifa that say we should kill homosexual or that polygamy is bad. I can't find one single Odwifa that also said it is one man, one woman, or one woman, one man. Some things just require common sense. But when it comes to your spirituality, the environment you stay, the people you see, the state of your mind and your emotion transmit themselves directly into your spirituality. Somebody is asking that why is there a mandate by parents for us to get married? Because of procreation. Because of procreation. And most times, parents want you to get married for their own selfish reason. Especially African parents. They just want to be fruitful and multiply. The consequences of the fruitfulness and multiplication, they don't care. Our lineage must not come to an end. Our lineage must not stop. Our lineage must not do this. You must marry. You must get married. And some even mandate that you should be married to some certain tribe and all that. They push their failure on you and tell you to make it right. Sometimes African parents behave like the sky god. Wherever they have failed, they tell you have the grace to succeed. Why didn't you succeed in that aspect? It's like creating Satan and telling human beings to conquer it and resist its temptation. Why don't you just kill the Satan? They don't want to hear. The moment you begin to clock 21, 20, 25, they begin to put pressure on you. Can't you see your cousins are now married? Can't you, as if they use that one to get reincarnated in the next life. See, all of these things, you will forget you ever had them. I'm not going far into death. I'm saying ordinary chronic headache. Even with that chronic, ordinary weight low will make you forget you have money in your bank account. Your money will become instantly useless. Your children will become instantly irrelevant. The houses you have been chasing will become, you will forget you. The only thing you will focus on is that weight low in that one, your one finger. Ordinary weight low will make you forget all these things you are chasing. Somebody is asking, please, you can be asking your questions also on YouTube. Somebody is asking, Baba, Phobits is saying, Baba, from Telegram I'm reading. Nowadays, a lot of women wants to date multiple men or date one and keep one on standby. I know it's a thing most men do, but women are doing it better. It's a new trend. Where? Only be the Baba get on to the Yoda. Baba get on to Yoda. See, what stopped women from dating multiple men if a man can date multiple women? Let's start with that question. Kàtí ẹ̀ mọ̀ pé wọ́n lù ẹ́ nílò àlùbami, wọ́n lù ẹ́ nílò bàrà. Ó mọ bí tí nǹkan ọmọbìnrin tó ti fúnra ẹ̀ ń pèrun, ó ń pèrun, bí ìgbà téèyàn ń pèrun wá sílé, yóò mọ ṣéèkì fún ẹ pọpọpọpọpọpọpọ báyìí. Wọ́n lù ẹ́ nílò Dunlop Elite. But ká mú yẹn sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́. But I'm saying that what stops women from dating multiple men if men can also date multiple women? What makes men special? What gave men the license to date multiple women if women cannot date multiple men? That's the question we should ask. That's the question we should ask. And you know, these are men. A lot of comments are coming on Telegram. You know, these are men. The moment they know they are not using you for anything, the way they will use you, they will use you in a way that nothing else will be able to use you again. All those wicked boys. They use you like you are a vixen. Wọ́n lè dórí ẹ kódò kan máa rọ̀dà síbẹ̀ fún ẹ, àbí kan forí ẹ hàǹgì ibì kan, àbí kan tiẹ̀ so kan tu ẹ má bàtì àlàpà kankan. Ìlò ìkà. That's why men don't manhandle their wife at all. When they want to deal with their wife, they take it easy. They don't even do it all the time with their wife. But you see the side chickens that are looking for a home to come and roost, the way they use them outside. Oh. So I don't think I have the answer to that. That women are becoming, you know, from time immemorial. Let me not lie to you. From time immemorial, our women have been double dating. from time immemorial. It is people of these days that are thinking it is a new thing for this paternity fraud kind of thing. Women have been double dating from the time that the world began. See, not women. It's just that men are testing their own and being bold about it. And unfortunately for most men, they don't even know how to treat their women right. She can be legally married to you and stay in your home, and the man that is making her happy is somewhere. If you have right to pursue happiness, what stops her from pursuing happiness? Everybody deserves happiness. It is selfishness for men to think that even though I'm not doing my duty, I'm making my woman happy, she doesn't have right to look for happiness. Have you watched the film In Pursuit of Happiness? That's the life we live in. From time immemorial, forget that they were tying wrapper and living in villages. Àtayébáyé ni bàbá Mọ̀rúfù ti ń bá ìyá Kàbírù ló ti bá ń la etí abọ́ ẹ̀. From time immemorial, Daddy James has always been with Mommy Janet from time immemorial. Just that women are so secretive. I give kudos to them. And I fear women. So secretive. They will kill you, we will not know. As a matter of fact, they wake your dead body up, you will still testify that my wife cannot. Àwọn bọ̀dá carpenter tó dẹ̀ ń gba fún ìyàwó ẹ̀, àwọn náà ló tún máa ṣe dádì ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́ sà, ẹ ra sà, dádì ẹ ra sà. In this part of the world, we call our women Oga Madam. Oga Madam. You, that is the man, they call you Oga. We put Oga and add Mad. We first call our Madam Oga. You think it's natural? Somebody they call Oga Madam. You are ordinary Oga. They didn't even say Oga or Oga. They say Oga, ordinary Oga. In the world we live in today, even somebody who is a cleaner, who is a vulcanizer, they refer to themselves as Oga. You this common Oga. But when we want to call the woman, we say Oga Madam. We will post put Oga, we will not put Madam to know the kind of Oga that she is. You are there fooling yourself, thinking you are smarter than women. What do you know? What do you even know? These people birth you. Better go and bow to them and then respect them, treat them well. So if you like, you carry plenty men, plenty women, and say your wife you not carry. So we are rounding up now. Question. Somebody is saying question on Facebook, on YouTube, saying, Baba, is it normal for parents to talk to their 26-year-old last-born about marriage, but bugging her to do a master's degree instead? Is it normal for not to talk to their, is it normal for parents not to talk to their 26-year-old last-born about marriage, but bugging her to do a master's degree instead? I think the parents want her to build value. They want her to accumulate value in herself. Maybe the parents know better. Maybe they have the kind of mindset that we have, knowing that most men are also looking for women of value. So you build value yourself. The right set of people will come to you. It's normal. It's normal. I want my daughter to be the best in her area. Marriage is not by force. It is by choice. But I'll do my bit as a parent such that if I'm not around anymore, she will be standard. I want to raise another Kamala Harris in her own way. I want to raise a woman that will announce a man, not a woman that a man will be announcing. You now open his mouth and be saying, if not for me. The thought of saying, if not for me, should scare a man to say or speak to my daughter. But nothing stops you from getting married and still going after your dream or your profession or your career. That is you now getting married to the right person, who is also a dream chaser, who have enough self-esteem to accommodate yours. Baba, do you think some women are destined not to marry? Depends on your element. Your element might be antagonizing you from settling down. There are some women who identify with the sun. Women who identify with fire of the sun, they find it difficult to settle because they have so much great self-esteem. They are dream chasers. They are the life of a party. They dictate the themes of things. They come into a society and take over. So when they meet men who are not really good with their self-esteem, possibility there is they will keep divorcing and divorcing. And most times, women who have this kind of element and star, they make stupid choices in their life. They make silly choices in their life. These great women who should accomplish great things, smash goals and all that, they will always end up with one silly guy who is nothing to write home about, who will destroy them. They always, and it always ends in tears. So women like that are not to be wooed. Women like that are the one who will choose the man they were decided to settle with. You can't woo such a woman and say, no, come. No. She will be the one to say, hello, I like you, and I'll marry you. End of case. That's all. She's a woman. She's a man-woman. People like that exist. Black Queen is saying, Baba, what can one do if there's no longer the desire to have sex with her husband at all? Problem to share. You can go for counseling. What is the cause? When did it start? What happened? Has he hurt you? Is he doing something you don't like? Because the moment your emotion doesn't feel right, sex doesn't work. Either you're having sex for fun or you're having sex for real. Emotion is the basis and foundation of sex. And emotion is very, very, very unfaithful. It is here today and not there tomorrow. Does he need to lose weight? What is he doing wrongly? What is pissing you off? What really is the matter? And sometimes, I always advise people, if we have checked all that and everything is cool, please take a break. Travel and go get a vacation for yourself. Let the distance bring about fondness between you both. When you both miss each other, it has a way of just reviving back the sexuality for each other. All right. Somebody is asking, what was the relationship based on? If it's based on sex, now sex will still kill her now. If you started a relationship based on sex, it is still sex that will mess it up. We are going back to Telegram now. Do we have a question here? Are you saying the man must go for divination to know his energy before we can be intimate? Why not? Why not? Why go intimate with someone whose energy will mess yours up? Even if it is 1 rand. 1 rand can give back to a baby. With 1 rand, there are 200 million sperm being deposited in you. 1 rand can put energy you don't want in you forever. Okay, we have someone who's saying doesn't have problem with women. He just doesn't trust women, even though he respects them a lot. When it comes to the matter of the heart, I find them very secretive, and that makes me not to trust them. All right. Don't go and hate women. Even you should not trust yourself because you don't even know what you will do next. Another thing that is overrated is trust. Baba, please, what about if they say stars of 2 individuals goes together? Please, can you clarify this? Thanks. Yeah, if they say your stars go together, they are referring indirectly to your element, but they just don't know how to put it. They just don't know how to put it. So if your stars go together, then you are good to go. But be very sure that the person who is reading this thing for you knows what they are saying. So many stars have gone together. using zodiac sign and horoscope. Premium tiers náà lọ tí wọ́n dàbọ̀ lórí Prime, Amazon Prime. Premium tiers náà lọ tí wọ́n dàbọ̀. All right. So, Baba, is there a way to cleanse oneself of past energy that has been acquired through sex? Yes. I've spoken about that. That talks about memory cleansing. Every memory deposited in us should be cleansed, either via rape, incest, people who are not of our order, who have deposited something in us. Yeah, there is such a ritual like that. Very, very awesome ritual. I even tell people, I tell women, when you divorce your husband or you are quitting a relationship, don't only go and scrape your head and be doing ready to mingle. Also, scrape the element in you. The same for men, especially those ones that believe in latex condom than spiritual sins. Baba, what should a woman do? If you want to do the cleansing, just reach out to me. It's true. We will find a way to go around it. Baba, what should a woman do if she is constantly accused of being secretive, even when she's not, but the man is insisting she swear with water? That man too will have problem. He's having trust issue. He must be doing something very wrong against the woman. So, a man that cheats on you will think you are cheating on him. So maybe you should be the one who begin to question him. So he's telling you to swear with water, so that he will swear with water, but don't take boat, don't take ferry. But just make sure your hands are clean. If he tells you to swear with water, tell him to swear by a shoe or Shango. If he's also not cheating on you, you will see the reaction. You will see somebody will keep quiet. Amotola is saying, what if a married couple realize that their elements are not compatible, but they are in love? Is there anything that can be done? Love with the premium tiers. Or you might the premium tiers. It might not be physical, but somebody will retrogress, the other one will move forward. And it's possible that two of them become stagnant. Two of them might eventually become stagnant, So it might be difficult, but eventually they will still part way. You might not actively just part way, but let the future, let life, let time just take over. Time will take over, and then you realize that eventually everybody will answer their father's name. Question from YouTube, Baba, is there a way to cleanse oneself from oppressive man of God whose oil has been made to use? One has been made to use regularly. Is there a way to cleanse oneself from an oppressive man of God whose oil one has been made to use regularly? See all these so-called men of God, they will kill people. Before you start cleansing yourself of the oil, what about the impartation? What about the laying of hands? What about the feet washing? What about all those anointing services and all? There's a lot you need to do when you are living the religion of the invaders. When you want to embrace African spirituality, there are rituals you have to go through. There are baths you have to cleanse all these things. These people have messed people's life up. So there's a way around it, in a nutshell. They will also, if you also want to go to them, they will also insist that you go do baptism as a way to cleanse yourself of our memory. So everybody know that. All right. We'll be rounding up very soon. We just don't know when we're going to teach again. All right, somebody is asking, does spider web causes misfortune? Please answer, Baba Yoba. All right, I was in Oyo State recently, and we enter a certain house, and the house have cobwebs around it. So I made a joke. I said, somebody who entered this cobweb will say somebody is chasing them. See, sometimes when you are not neat, you have cobwebs around your house. And what's the name? Spider are excellent animals. Wherever you see spiders making their webs, they are also helping you kill mosquitoes, dangerous flies, and several other things. You don't know the importance of spiders. While they may make the house look dirty and all, bumping into cobweb should not be a spiritual. See, they have messed a lot of people up. Some people have the feeling of cobweb when they are walking on the street. I tell them, go check your eyes. Something is wrong. Maybe you are starting to have cataract, or is it glaucoma, or what they call it? You will be having that feeling that something is, you will be having that feeling of cobweb. Just like we demystify spiritual wife and husband. Do not give your money to anyone who is telling you something is wrong with you because you enter cobweb. The moment some of you travel abroad, suddenly cobweb will go. So you will say because he left Nigeria. No, because the place is neat. There are children in this world, in our Nigeria here, they have never seen cobweb before in their life. Because their parents are neat. So we handle that. But if you insist, I'm very sure that it's spiritual, whatever. Let's do divination first. Baba, what if you have a woman that is meant to be your partner, but likes to sleep with other men for spiritual powers? Again, she wakes up randomly in the night and she says she's having sex in her dream with the other person. And when you tell her to stop contact, she goes behind your back to make contact with this person, but she claims she loves you. What should you do? Run, no. Run, no. Baba Fela said, run, no. Run, no. Run, no. Obìnrin tó ń yàlè bí ò bá parẹ́ yóò pọkọ o. Run, no. A woman that is promiscuous, if she does not kill you, she does not kill herself, she will kill you. Because she might not even kill you actively. The other people that she's giving the, what does Franklin call this thing something? Sugar wall. The other man that is giving the sugar, she's giving the sugar wall to, might like the sugar wall so much. I want to claim ownership of it. So they, I won't worry. Who are these people? Who are these people? Oh no. What's going on? What's going on? Please, people, mute your. What's going on? Please mute this thing, please. All right. So, if she does not kill you, if you're not kill yourself, she will kill you. So please, let's be careful. Let's be careful. So please, let's round up. Let's round up. Thank you very much for joining. I'm going to take one more question from YouTube. Somebody is saying, what does it mean when people in Yoruba land say that in the many years past, a woman can have Iyawo, not lesbian? We heard Iyawo does mean English wife, and Oko does not really mean English husband. I didn't get your question very well. Maybe you get the opportunity to ask it in one of these question section. All right, please, people. Let's round off. I don't have water here, and I'm dehydrated. I'd like to take a break. And then thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you very much for joining us today. And all questions and queries, you can always chat me on this line. And please note that when you chat, it takes 5 working days from the day I reckon with your receipt of deposit. Maybe you made divination token, for me to be able to get back to you. We attend to a lot of people. Now, for instance, we have 110 people watching us on YouTube. We have 74 people watching us on, listening to us on Telegram. And we have a lot of people sending inquiries. If I take time to get back to you, it is not because I'm running away. It is not because I want to scam you. It is not because I'm fraudulent. It's because I am not getting back to you yet. That's all. Desist from accusing me of scamming you. Desist from propaganda. Desist from all this childishness. It won't pay. I'm trying my best to serve everyone. And please, people should know that we are not only serving folks of Africans in Africa alone. We are not serving only folks who recently moved from Africa to diaspora. We are serving our people in diaspora who have always lived in diaspora all their life. Jamaicans, Haitians, Brazilians, who are black people like us, folks even from French colonies, who needed to even pay interpreter to hear what I'm saying when I do divination for them. Note that not only English-speaking people in Africa are Africans. Note that there are some Africans who are even darker than us, who speak French and other languages. They are also there, wanting to make inquiries, make divination. And the peculiarity of this is, what you talk to me about when you want to make divination are secret things. If it is something that can go in public, I will tell my assistant to listen to you. But how shall I trust somebody else with your secret? So that's why it is just me listening to you. And if I am with one person, I am with one person for the moment we are together. Some people will say just 5 minutes. Their 5 minutes can enter 45 minutes. No matter how you try to stop them, they are still talking. It is also wrong in this profession for you to shut someone up who is talking, because some people just need to talk. Their problem is not about divination, they just want to talk. We had a case of a West boy who want to, everybody knows that situation. So if I've not gotten back to you, know that I'm also serving other people, not that I'm just lounging somewhere. Don't call me a scammer. Bó bá fẹ́ jẹ́ kí n bu èpè jù ọ́, bó fẹ́ jẹ́ kí n fún ẹ nígbàjà èpè, àwọn awọ́nríwọ̀n èpè, àwọn èpè tó ti inú èpè wá, àwọn èpè ìsàlẹ̀ odò, àwọn èpè orí igi, má jẹ́ kí n bùjú ẹ. People should not call us scammer. I'm always here online with you. You have my WhatsApp page, WhatsApp number. You have my Instagram. You have my Facebook. You have my YouTube. You have everything. You have email. We have a website. We have numbers there. Please exercise patience. The highest you can do for me is to keep reminding me. If you think I've forgotten, please keep reminding. Keep sending messages every morning so that your message don't get lost in track. You might have paid for divination token and have not even seen it. We have not done reconciliation of the account to know those we are divining for, those we are working for. Because while some are paying divination token, some are also paying, some are giving us money to buy items for prescription for them. So it is not all about one person. There are a lot of people. We are not sleeping on the job. We are trying to serve people. And I try not to make generic items for people, because when you go buy generic spiritual items, you are just deceiving yourself. An individual problem should require peculiar solution, not generic one. And I try not to do anything for anybody except I've done divination. Except I've done divination. I will not use my brain, even though I have experience, to do forecasting for you. I will first do divination to know the root cause and how to better approach it. Just like a doctor will take your blood to the laboratory for checking before giving you prescription. Some prescriptions are invasive surgery, some are non-invasive, so some are just tablets, some is bed rest, some is just counseling on lifestyle changes and diet. That's the way it works at you. So the fact that you are at the reception and the doctor is exhausted or he can't attend to you does not mean that he scammed you. No, let's not call ourselves scammers. Please, thank you very much. So you can send your messages to this WhatsApp number. And also don't forget that registration is still ongoing for our African Spirituality Master Course. Check the information scrolling below. Registration is still ongoing for African Spirituality Master Course. You can just go to www.babayoba.org/sign up. Then you can create an account for yourself and pay using Paystack, using your card to get enrolled. We are starting by April 1st, April 3rd, and ending by May 1st. April 3rd, Saturday, April 3rd, and we are ending by May 3rd. It's going to be happening 8 p.m. West African time, 8 p.m. Nigerian time, every Saturday for 2 hours. 8 p.m. Nigerian time every Saturday for 2 hours. 8 p.m. Nigerian time. You can calculate and make time for it. 8 p.m. Nigerian time every Saturday Nigerian time. If you cannot attend visually, you can just enter into the class, switch off your camera, and listen, just like we are listening now. If you have your question, you can put it on the dashboard. We'll be able to attend to it 2 hours every Saturday for stream 1. Thank you very much for listening. And I'd like to say good night for now. Somebody is asking, is the water spirituality understanding course included in the masterclass? No, that's a separate thing. That's a one-off thing. That's a one-off thing. Water, to discuss about water itself can take us good 2 weeks non-stop to talk about water, for us to understand water. So it's a separate course entirely. We have a lot to cover. Thank you very much for joining. May every ear that heard us today, home and abroad, not hear bad news for the rest of your lives. May everyone who contributed, either by listening actively, passively, not contribute to evil for the rest of your life. Where they are making decision of downfall, may your name be forgotten totally in the mind of all the decision makers. Wherever they are making decision of greatness and promotion, increment, may you be the only name in the lips of everyone that is making the decision. O ní rìn lọ́jọ́ tẹ́bí bá ń pọ̀nà, o ní sínlé ọjọ́ ẹbí bá ń palẹ̀. You will not make a mistake of a lifetime that will ruin you forever. And we decree into the life of every single one, having one health challenges or the other. If water is present in your body, we decree into the atmosphere, as long as you drink water and you walk on the earth, may the water in your body be reconfigured for greatness and for healing. May every molecules and every cells in your body begin to work in line with the words we say to the water in your body. May your health be revived. May your skin be rejuvenated. May you come back to say, I heard this decree and it worked for me. And we speak to everyone going through one mental challenge or the other, either insanity, depression, suppression, whatever it may be. Because no matter how hot a weather is, when it rains, the atmosphere becomes calm. May you receive calmness in your mental health again. Tútù là ń rọ bàbà, tútù là ń rọ dẹ. May calmness return to you again. No matter how dry a tree may be, at the scent of water, it brings forth fruit, not only leaves. Everyone experiencing dryness and drought in their life, we speak the word of the universe into that life. May there be fruitfulness, not only fruitfulness, but multiplication in abundance as from today. May those who have thought all their life that they suffer from generational curse begin to enter into the place of generational blessing. Not the one of their ancestors alone, but may they amass so much blessings that their generations unborn will use them as a landmark and a good example for blessing. Mo yí orúkọ padà, mo sọ dire lónìí o. Orúkọ rẹ̀ wá dire mi dé. Ire wá mi wálé. Ire bá mi jí. Ire délé mi. Ire sùn tì mí. Ire rẹ́rìn sí mi. Ire ràgàbò mi. Ire rún mi mọ́lẹ̀. May goodness follow you all the days of your life. Àṣẹ. Kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Ó dìgbà kan náà o. And don't forget to share with your family and friends. You can come to our Telegram channel also. Just search for Baba Yoruba on Telegram. Baba Yoruba on Telegram. Be part of that wonderful family. We love each other there. We correct each other there. And some of the things you will not hear me say publicly, it's already said there. Thank you very much. And have a wonderful time now. See you.